Hello again, and welcome to Roland's Reviews. It is finally Friday. Woohoo! Last day of school. It is official so far as students. Of course, I'll still be working, but at least I got rid of the students until August. Now I can really get some work done. Welcome, everyone, to the show. And if you will, do me one small favor. Hit that little thumb. That is the like button. That tells YouTube that you are definitely enjoying the information that we are discussing. And hey, who knows? They may share it out. We may trigger the YouTube logarithm and bring even more people into the conversation. Also, if you have Facebook or other forms of social media, uh, share the stream out. That helps to grow the channel as well. And I like to discuss subject matter with as many people as possible. I always like to hear someone else's point of view. I will do the roll call momentarily. If you would like for me to call your name, just say hello or send an emoji, whatever you choose, okay? So that I can see who is actually here in the live chat. All right. Diane, before I could start my live chat, Diane said Disney needs to just shut the show down. And we're going to get into that because this is their warning. However, they have severe TDS, and I don't feel they just can't control themselves at this point. Okay, that's just where we are. So let's go ahead and do the roll call. Tina is here. How you doing, love? Baldwin Birds. Baldwin, we're talking about it. Also, Mayor, how are you doing? And of course, Diane, uh, Richard Quimby. Mayor said they need to go to TDS meetings like AA meetings. Those who do not know what AA means, that is Alcoholics Anonymous. Those of you who are old enough, like myself, uh, we are familiar with that organization for people who have drinking problems. So hit that like button and tell me what are your thoughts before I get into the article. And you know I have videos uh, to share with you. Um, what are your thoughts? Talk to me. Um, we mentioned the view a lot, but they have just taken that show, in my opinion, and just destroyed it. Thinks like a lion, present and accounted for. How are you doing, love? Hit that like button. Thinks like a lion. If you have social media pages, share this stream out, please, and bring more people into the conversation. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, thinks like a lion says, shut it off. That's thinks like a lion's vote. I'm not arguing with thinks like a lion. They are just some of the most miserable people. Um, and now remember, Trump has made guest appearances on the show. Now remember, everyone was cool with Trump until he became a Republican and decided to run for president. Then they flipped the script. He's the biggest racist known to man, according to them. And and they've continued to peddle that narrative. Again, he's not perfect. He has issues just like all of us. But don't continue to sell that narrative. Think of something else, folks. Right? Those of us who are here, we have spoken on that. Caesar, glad you're here, love. Um, Baldwin, yes. Disney, yes. So again, um, Trump was a guest on the show more than once before he became president. Now we know when Barbara Walters, RIP, I always loved Barbara Walters. And when she started, look at those of you who watched the show from its inception till now, you know that's not, I'm sure that wasn't Barbara Walters' vision. That's not what it was when she was alive. And they have taken that show and just destroyed it. So many of you here in the chat are, you know, saying the same thing that I'm saying. Just get rid of it. It's just a waste at this point. And they're not going to adhere to um, Disney's ABC's top executives, telling them to tone it down. They have told them Trump is popular. People like his policies. He's doing what he said he was going to do. Now, are you going to like every single thing that he does? Maybe not. But at least he told you what he was going to do. Diane, what's sad is the cast seems nothing wrong with the recent interview with the Bidens. Right. And they're so biased, they can't hide it. Mayor said once Barbara Walters left, it went downhill. No lies detected in that statement. And so viewers want them to, and I was looking at something earlier, viewers are even sick of hearing all of the political rhetoric. Because again, if you're old enough like I am to remember when Barbara Walters started the show, that's not what it was. So I feel, my personal opinion, I feel the show will be canceled. Because they're not going to listen to the top execs. They're not going to adhere to what they're saying. So let me read over this and type in the comment section what your thoughts are. Hit that little thumb. That is the like button, folks. If you will, also share the stream out. So here we are. Report. Disney ABC executives ask The View hosts to tone down Trump bashing. And of course, here they are. All right. Mayor said, how can anyone watch them? Mayor, I would not waste that time. Time is too precious, okay? And no way. All right. So let me go over this, folks. Executives with Disney and ABC News have reportedly asked the View hosts to tone down their bashing of President Trump, Donald Trump, and political rhetoric overall. And again, if you're just joining the chat, people who watch the show, the fans of the show, are sick of the politics. So let me continue. While the View hosts have never shied away from bashing Trump and Republicans in general, executives within the company have reportedly grown weary with the show's over emphasis on politics, feeling that it has strayed from its original inception as a talk show for women. You think? Yeah. How you doing, Trish? How are you? Hit the like button, Robert. How are you? They do a show on defending illegal immigration, but don't cover Americans like the women whose kids died in the cold. Robert, they're not going to say anything about America. It's all, we know how it goes. Americans are on the back burner. Yes, Mayor. All right. So where are we here? According to the Daily Beast, two sources confirmed that Disney CEO Bob Iger and ABC News president Almin Karamaktovic recently held a meeting with the View hosts and executive producer Brian Taylor, asking them to shift the conversation away from politics. All right. Karametrovic highlighted episodes with celebrity guests that he said were highly rated. One source said, and encouraged them to lean into such coverage moving forward, noted the outlet. right? Okay, I'll continue. While the Iger and Kara Medvedev did not go far to demand a change, the suggestions still upset the hosts, with Ana Navarro reportedly telling them that their audience tunes into the show for political perspectives. So again, they're being told one thing, and this is what they're saying. This is what our audience wants. Isn't it going to look kind of bad if we're all of a sudden not talking about politics? Ana Navarro reportedly told the two executives. Other hosts reportedly found the suggestions silly and vowed to keep doing their thing. This is why I said earlier, folks, they're not going to change. That's, to me, no. You see it here as well. I'm reading it, but you can see it for yourself in black and white. During Disney's upfront presentation to advertisers last week, Navarro reportedly confronted Iger about the suggestion, per the Daily Beast. So this is what they're saying, folks. Navarro thanked Iger for allowing the hosts to continue doing their jobs in a politically turbulent environment, the sources said. Iger confirmed he supported the show, but it also reaffirmed that the show needed to tone down its political rhetoric, the sources said. So I'm telling you, how you doing, James Wayne, Darnell? Hit the like button, folks. James, Darnell, share this stream on your social media pages for me. Thank you. So you see, they're not going to change. So the show, I feel, it will be canceled. They're not willing to listen to the executives. And remember, when Barbara Walters started the show, it was a success, and it was supposed to be a talk show for women. We see what it has become. Yes, Darnell, severe Trump derangement. Tina, I hope the president sues The View, each and every one of them. Yeah, there are lawsuits going on now. They're trying to settle. So again, that's why they're trying to tell them, hey, tone this down. They won't. Oh my goodness. Type your comments in the comment section, folks. So it says, another source familiar with the matter said ABC will constantly have conversations with talent based on viewer feedback, and this instance was no different. Suggesting, listen to this, the show's view. Look at this. Let me highlight this so you know I'm not making it up. Look at that, folks. The show's viewers, so your audience, is telling you they want it to be less political, but you're going full steam ahead. No, you're not changing. So again, they're adding the nails in their own coffins, which none of us watches the show, so it wouldn't matter to me. James, we've missed you too. Where have you been, love? They will reap what they sow. Literally, Tina. Where have you been, James? So executives asking The View to tone down the political rhetoric comes months after the hosts were forced to issue, remember this, folks, several legal notes for exaggerated statements about Trump's cabinet picks on air. It also comes after CBS News and its parent company, Paramount Global, have been working to reach a settlement with President Trump for alleged election interference over a heavily edited interview with former Vice President Kamala Harris during a 60-minute segment last year. And we know they were all crashing out for her. Right, James? Exact, James? You're right. You are absolutely right. Rollins, back in the day, Star Jones said Rosie O'Donnell bullied Barbara into making the show more political. Okay, Kami. Mayor, they won't have any content if they don't stop. If they stop spreading lies. I am right. Christina Lilly, wasn't there a blonde Republican back in the day? She probably hates Trump too. Christine, if you're around those hateful people all day long, they're enough to change the devil. How you doing, Christine? Hit the like button for me, dear, as well as share this on your social media pages. Thank you. Oh, okay, James. Slow down, slow your roll, and start joining us again in the chat. You just find one woman, leave all those other women alone, James. Yes, Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Rosie got her kicked off the show. Viewed her as dumb. Okay. Christina, yes, they're nuts. And now they won't do basically what their bosses are telling them to do. OMG. All right. So I had that for you. And I also have some videos. Oh my God. Yes, Cami. And again, I told you I lived in New York before. Everyone loved Trump when he was a Democrat. When he became a Republican and ran for president, that's when the problem started. That's when everyone turned. That's when the media flipped the script, changed the narrative. He's the biggest racist ever born ever. Okay, that's when they changed the narrative. You know. So let me share this video with you. And I just think it's ridiculous, folks, at this point. And pretty much everyone has the internet. So anyone who would sit there and listen to that nonsense that they spew, oh my God, I could not. So I'm going to show you a little video here. And you tell me what your thoughts are in reference to the video that I'm sharing. What happened? She ended up on Fox in the morning. She eventually left to take care of her kids and family. Right. Oh, yeah, James, but everyone loved him before he became a Republican. The rappers were rapping about him in the songs. He was in movies. He was appearing on TV shows. When he changed his political affiliation and then he ran for president, that's when everyone flipped the script. Everyone wanted to emulate him. I mean, they were singing about, rapping about him. He was everywhere until he changed his political affiliation. All right, here we go.
Dial it down. That is Disney CEO Bob Iger's message to the hosts of The View, who are known for their hot takes and blunt criticism of the president and his administration. ABC parent company Disney is reportedly feeling the pressure from the president.
That's according to the Daily Beast, that outlines a call with ABC's president and The View's executive producer. Iger told hosts Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sonny Hostin, Anna Navarro, Sarah Haynes, and former Trump aide Alyssa Farah Griffin to cool it on the political rhetoric. But the women of The View reportedly told their bosses to take a hike. One source reportedly saying, quote, "This is what our audience wants. Isn't it going to look kind of bad if we're all of a sudden not talking about politics?" They ultimately decided they weren't having it with the, quote, "silly requests," and said they would just keep doing their thing.
In response to the report, former co-host of the show, Meghan McCain, took to X, saying simply, "They will never do that." The suggestion to tone down anti-Trump rhetoric comes as the president continues to put pressure on news outlets that he considers fake news. Trump took aim at NBC News and their reporter during a press event with the South African president on Wednesday.
You are you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. You ought to go back to your studio at NBC, because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network. And you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead. His name is Peter something. He's a terrible reporter. Quiet. Let's go.
The administration has also repeatedly blocked Associated Press reporters over the wire service.
And we know why, folks. But of course, that was when President Trump met with South African President Ramaphosa in reference to what is it? They said some white farmers that were allegedly being unalived. Okay, so that's what that was about. Christina, I love when Trump shuts down the press. Yeah. When I guess just tired of people spewing lies. Kami, I'm absolutely disgusted with Whoopi and how she turned out. She was part of my childhood with the Sister Act movies. Yes, Kami. Oh, yes, the Sister Act movies, and she played Ghost and a few others. How you doing, Monique? And so she just really disappointed me. But it is what it is. And so that's how it is, folks. Nothing we can do about that. And so, hey, where are we? Okay. So let this continue to play. I have a couple of other videos to play with you because he was still talking about the South African thing. So
much to discuss here, Stephen.
I think Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg are going to tone it down.
I don't think so. I think the market for them is to do what they do. I'm well aware that lots of people don't like what they do, but I see it's still the #1 daytime network chat show.
Yeah, this is the #1 show in that block. I mean, they rival Harris Faulkner on Fox News, are consistently outpacing that major news network. I don't understand why people watch this show. I think for me, and this is what I was saying on X myself, is the problem with The View is not its anti-Trump rhetoric and criticism, sometimes just deranged criticism of the administration. It's just every discussion. Every discussion is steeped in conspiracy theory thinking, just sort of unhinged wine mom kind of stuff. And it's just never pleasant to watch. And so I'm looking at that going, this is daytime news or daytime programming on ABC. What the heck, Bob Iger? And I seem to be wrong because it's a #1 rated show. The wine moms love it.
Maybe we are not the target market for it. Maybe I'm the target market and you're not. I don't
think so. But I think it does come back to this is all at the.
Okay, how you doing, Darla? Vipa, hit the like button, ladies. Share this content out. So I wanted to read this. Diane says, if they feel they should talk politics, why are they not talking about the cover up at the White House regarding Biden? Hey, right. That's all over the news cycle. They're not saying anything about that. And they're still upset that the Curry Queen did not win. So, Darla, we're glad you made this one, love. James says, I've done research about what he said about South Africa, and I really don't know if what Trump is saying is accurate or not, to be honest. James, and that's why I have not covered that topic, because I'm hearing, until I hear something definitive, and obviously I'm not there in South Africa, I'm hearing that it's not a genocide's not happening. I'm hearing that. So how can you truly know if you're not there? So James, I get it, and that's why I haven't covered it. Who knows if it's out? The only people that know if it's accurate or not are the people who are living there, right? But I've seen a lot of white South Africans on social media saying that it's not happening. So I don't know. I've watched some other YouTubers who said they've been to South Africa and it's not happening. But again, I can't say one way or another because I have not been there. So, Richard, actually, I did not care for Trump when I was in New York until 2015, when I first started listening about his policies. That was mainly because I did not care for rich people. You change with info. Okay, Richard. Yeah. Oh, Vipa, that's okay, dear. How you doing, Joey? Oh, Darla, yeah, when they all melted down, that was hilarious. Hit the like button, everyone who's here. Please, ma'ams and sirs. Let me finish this video, and I have another.
At the end of the election in November 2024, there were these episodes where legal was constantly in the ear of the hosts and asking them to offer corrections. There was an instance where they had 4 legal note corrections over the course of an entire episode over discussion about Matt Gaetz and Pam Bondi. They just are constantly saying things that are not true, and they are actually concerned about having to do another sort of settlement or payout with the administration.
Look, obviously, one should be accurate even if you're in the opinion space. You don't want to be inventing facts or getting things wrong. I wouldn't defend that on The View. I wouldn't defend it on Fox News. I wouldn't defend it anywhere, including here. Now, I do think, though, that, well, 2 points, really. One is, plainly, the show is popular, so it caters to an audience that like that pretty confrontational tone that they adopt toward Trump and perhaps toward conservatives more generally. And the other thing is that I do think, and we alluded, of course, to this in the introduction, that there is the context here of Trump pushing back and in some cases threatening media outlets. The jabs he threw there at NBC, while somewhat amusing in their tone, did also suggest that he was going to try to take on the corporate bosses in some way. There could be
but see, I don't even like this implication. I mean, kind of connecting the dots between what's going on with The View, which they've faced this kind of thing before, where they've been asked to tone it down. They never do. That doesn't really, to me, connect to Trump's constant badgering of the press his entire political career that we've known him. That connects to Disney not wanting to do another $16 million settlement related to George Stephanopoulos, when he just, barely missed the details here in talking about a legal case in which he said he characterized a civil verdict against Trump as a rape conviction rather than sexual abuse, which right there, you can go after them on messing this up when you try to mischaracterize or accidentally mischaracterize without correction people's legal status in terms of their legal issues. So they don't want that.
And I was surprised that someone of Stephanopoulos' experience actually did that. But, so much more we could talk about, but for the moment, we will be moving on to...
So again, they're trying to avoid future lawsuits. They're in lawsuits right now, trying to get those settled. But they're saying they're not going to stop. So we'll have to see where this goes. Cammie said, what Trump said is true. There is a YouTuber named Modi Speaks. She has all the receipts. She is African. Yeah, Cammie, and I've looked at some African YouTubers that said it wasn't happening, and some that said it was. And so it's just, and I've listened to, white South Africans who live there. So it's just, that's why I haven't covered it. I said, I'm not going to touch that because I'm not there, and I'm hearing all kinds of information. So I was just like, I'll just leave that alone. But yeah, and I've been listening, I've been researching, and I'm hearing, from both sides, from black and white. So I'm just like, this is, this is too much. And I don't want to, come on here like I know, what's going on, and I don't. So I just left it. Okay. And I do have another video. So again, let me see. And this is Friday, so I definitely need to make everyone laugh. Thinks like a lion. Why are they not talking about the auto pen or how long Biden had cancer? Thinks like a lion. They're not going to talk about that, dear. Everything is TDS. And Cammie, that's what I'm saying. They're unwilling to change. They'll eventually be canceled. That's what I see in their future. I wanted to show this to you. Remember when Trump won again and they just lost it? They just, anything you say his name, their faces contort. They just cannot deal with it. And I love it. It's hilarious. And this is good for a Friday. We all get a laugh. We could just sit there and laugh at them. I mean, and I was thinking to myself, who watches that show anyway? But I mean, they have in their time slot, they're the number one show from what they just said. But I don't know. Where are we here? Robert, can you do a show on that illegal? What? Owing $1 million, owing $1 million to the government for not leaving the country. Oh, Robert, I have to check up on that, dear. Yeah, Mayor. And I get it, and I've listened to that as well. So it's just so much information. The Cammy said the View will eventually crash out. I mean, how long can they bash Trump and the Republicans? And yeah, because Trump, he'll continue with the lawsuits if they won't stop. Hey, I'm just saying. Tina said, we need a laugh. Thank you, Miss Rowley. Remember when he won and they just lost it? They looked like they were just devastated, like their lives were over. I love it. Oh my God, here we go. So again, they're still peddling their narrative. Cammy says Sunny is still hot like fish grease, that her bestie sorority sister Cam didn't win. And it's all sour grapes because the Curry Queen did not win. We know that. Mayor said, I watched the meltdowns. Yes, anytime you need a laugh. Bach said, hello, everyone. I'll be able to watch and chime in when somebody in the chat with somebody in the chat tonight when I'm working on your job. Okay, we're glad you're here, Bach. Thinks like a lion. To the republic for which it stands, one nation under God. Yes, Kami, Joy Reid is holding up really well age-wise, but sis, you're delusional to think Biden is better than Trump. Woo, oh my God. James, it hurts, but this is the truth, Ro. The Democratic judges are going to block everything, and then in the midterm elections, the Dems will win. Well, James, all we could do is hope and pray. Historically, the opposing party always wins the midterm. James, you have a good point. I've seen that happen as well. Bach, I wonder how Sigmund Freud would analyze these women, psychotic or just plain crazy. Bach, how about both? Sigmund Freud, I was talking about him in my classroom the other day, Bach, when we were talking about psychology. Robert, Whoopi Goldberg needs to concentrate on her acting than talking politics. That would be good. Tina says, thank God we won. Bach, name calling and demonizing. Where has this woman been the past 4 years? Right, Bach? Laurie, how you doing, love? Robert says, send them to Shady Pines. I worry about 38 trillion in debt. Yes, Joey. Mayor, no rights were taken away. There you go. But they're still peddling that narrative. Sony is such a hypocrite. Yes, Kami, all the black celebrities who hung out with Trump are a bunch of hypocrites, especially Oprah. Yeah, I even looked at Oprah's show back when Trump was on there. Remember, they loved each other. He said if he ever ran for president, she would be his VP. And she flipped on him just like everyone else. Kami said, Sonny, you are right. So she's pretending to be so concerned about the people who are not an elitist like she is. James, isn't Whoopi still acting on The View? Yes, James. So yeah, I'll continue. Yes, Mayor, they do. Only just any of these women complaining when the Biden-Harris administration was spending billions with a B on non-American citizens, aka illegals. I'll continue.
Worried about mass.
They're still pushing that narrative. They're the victims, right? Had nothing to do with race. It had everything to do with policies. They will not accept that the American people rejected their policies, but they want to make it about race. That's straight from the Democratic playbook, folks. Thinks like a lion. I had hardships under Biden. Right. Thinks like a melon. And, he hired 86,000 additional IRS agents to come after us to get even more of our money. Right? In income taxes. He had to go. And of course, all of the other nefarious activities he was involved in. Monique says, Sonny's a lost cause. Right, Baldwin, typical, classic Democrat move. Right, Robert? All right, here. If you remember, if you were here, she left her protesters, those people who were there in her corner. She didn't even have the decency to go out and speak to those people who were out there crying. If you were not here on the channel at the time, we did a video on that. Whether you win or lose, at least have some class, have some dignity. Remember, she sent a surrogate out there saying that she would talk to them at another time. No. That's not who we needed as president. Because when you're the president, you have to talk to world leaders, and you can't pick and choose. Well, I'll talk to you when I feel better. I'm upset. I'm depressed about something. So, no, ma'am, no, sir. What, you know, when you looked at her actions after her loss, I told everyone that will listen, you don't know it, but we dodged a bullet. And then remember, she went off. I did a video on this too. She and her husband, all of her people were devastated. Her workers, all these people who did all this work on her campaign were not paid. They had to start GoFundMe so they could pay their personal bills. She and her husband were at that, was it a $7 million resort vacationing? No, ma'am. As a leader, you should have come back here and tried to work out something so that your people could be paid, so that they could pay their rent, mortgage, etc., fill in the blank. So, sorry, not sorry. Kami, Sonny acts like Americans have traveled back to 1950 now that Trump is in the White House, like he wasn't president. He didn't put blacks in chains and women in the kitchen. Kami, yeah, we have to take it with a grain of salt. Tina, those people were out there 6.5 hours waiting on her so she could at least say thank you. Tina, say it again for the people in the back. So again, you don't look at someone so much when they're on top. You look at when things aren't going well, and that's the true character of a person. And they found out. They're out there crying and waiting on her to just come and say something. She didn't have the human decency to do that. That told me all I needed to know about her, which I had already done a lot of research, and I'd done a lot of videos. So, she just continued to expose herself for what she truly was. Darla, first rule of sports or elections, learn to be a gracious loser as well as winner. Darla, yes. This is what is sung in DC. What, James, I don't know what you're talking about, dear. She went on Hawaii vacation. Yes, at that, what was it, a $7 million resort? Her people who worked on her campaign couldn't pay their bills, had to start GoFundMes. Come on. Now that's what you're doing. You take care of your people, then you take a vacation. She took the vacation. That told me all I needed to know. Kami, the illegals are so scandalous. They were getting tens of thousands of dollars and was sitting on the streets begging for money. Oh yeah, it was awful. She couldn't talk after getting beat by Trump in the election. She was too busy smoking weed. Listen to Tupac. Bach. James, I'm a liar, you're a liar. Wouldn't you like to be a liar too? James, do these hosts support males participating in women's sports? Robert, probably. Dr. Pepper is suing DC. Woohoo! Here we go. On that live, still adding the black in there, right? The gender identity politics. And we all proved on this show and so many other YouTubers she was not black. Stop it. Ira, listen to that. Ma'am, indirectly you did. You bashed him daily, on a daily basis. So stop it. And if you remember Melissa Farrah Griffin, a liberal conservative, how many of you remember her? She actually worked for Trump. But when she went on The View, she started bashing him too. So they tend to rub off on people. And they were supposed to be adding a pro-Trump conservative on the show. They never did. They had a revolving door of weak conservatives who really wouldn't challenge them. And that's all. That's the most that they did. Of course, they would not allow a strong conservative to, someone who's going to stand up to them. Baldwin Burrs, Kamala isn't black, bruh. Facts. We've debunked that several times on this channel, and there are thousands of other channels that have done the same. All about her color and gender, and no, Mayor, that was no policies, gender and color. Thank you, Tina. Indian and Irish. Trump is a criminal, but I didn't tell anyone who to vote for. James. Yeah, exactly. You bash Trump every day. So yeah, yes, you did. That's all you did. What happened to Anna? She used to be so level-headed. Being on The View really turned her into an ugly person. Yeah, Kami, those evil spirits rubbed off on her. It's time for them to shut up. Tina. They fought with Judge Jeannie when she was on the show. Yeah, if you it's all groupthink, and there should be no individual. Yeah, she blew $1.2 billion. And they were lying to the how you doing, Darla? Yes, Darla, yes. And they were telling lies the whole time, so the money would keep rolling in. Oh my God. Yeah, see, they don't mention that, right? They don't mention the money that she blew. They don't talk about the billions also before, when she was still just VP. She wasn't running. All the money she blew, the billions of dollars she gave to non-American citizens. They always forget to mention that. You don't know why. You would not listen. People were telling you why. People who were not involved with the mainstream fake news media. And again, she had no policies. People could see right through her. She was phony and she was fake. You refused to listen. Remember, what were they saying? That and then when you were told that many Black Americans would be voting for Trump, everyone said, "Oh, they're just Russian bots. They're not really Black people who are going to vote for him." And then you had to FAFO. James, Whoopi gained weight in her bottom and she's having difficulty getting blood to her brain. And James is telling us to be sympathetic. Okay, James. Oh my goodness.
The matter. He's now the president. I'm still not going to say his name. That's not going to change.
Yeah. Who said it earlier? Kami. Let me find out what Kami. I meant to read you a statement and it got away from me. Oh my God. Oh my, where's Kami? Where's that statement that you said about Whoopi? I think it was Kami or Tina. Yeah, Trump is the worst white man, and that's all she dates. But again, she, just like the other liberals, talk crap about white people, and they're all married to white people. So stop it. You're a hypocrite. I mean, no one cares. It doesn't matter who you're married to, but stop being a hypocrite. Like, white people are just the worst. That's who you're married. Even Don Lemon from CNN, formerly of CNN, his husband is white. And he's up here just like all these other shills and puppets and plants from the Democratic Party talking crap about white people. And that's who they're married to. So stop it. People can see through that fake and phony behavior. All right, here we go. These people. But yeah, so Kami, I think that's where I'm at. Anna, if you love women, girls so much, why did you and your co-host celebrate Dylan Mulvaney celebrating his womanhood? Girl, bye. Can she say Biden, biggest scandal of the century? Yeah, they never say anything about that. And now how they all colluded, including Kamala, the Curry Queen, they knew about Biden's cognitive decline. And they just walking around, again, the pink elephant in the room. Oh, nothing to see here. Get out of here. They all knew. And the world knew when he did that debate. Monique said, he's still your president, Whoopi. Oh my God. No, Whoopi Cam didn't go everywhere and spoke to everyone. She ignored a lot of people, most notable black men. Okay, Cammy. Did they get tired of bashing Trump? That's probably why their ratings are low. Robert, they're not tired of it. They want to continue it, but Robert, you weren't here. The heads, the executives at ABC is telling them to stop bashing Trump. You know, they're in litigation now, and they're afraid of additional lawsuits in the future. But the women are saying, no, we're not going to stop. This is what our audience wants. Well, the executives have said, and I read this. If you when we end the video, you can go back and do the replay. Said no. They talked to people in the audience. They've talked to their viewers, and they're sick of the politics. So I think they're probably going to be canceled. ABC is not going to continue to be sued. And of course, Disney's, I think, the parent company. So Disney, Paramount. But yeah, they're like, no, we're not going to stop. Yes, they hate white, but date, marry, and sleep with white. Right. Like a living color skit. Yes. So you're telling me about racism and white supremacy. White people are horrible, but that's who you're married to, and I'm supposed to listen to you? Get out of here. Stop it. Stop it. I mean, and that if you look at them, that's what most of them do. They're crying racism and white supremacy, and then so they can't be that bad. That's who you're married to. So stop with the lies. James. Okay. So that's all I have for you folks. I just I thought that was interesting. I wanted to share that with you. And I will be live tomorrow, of course. But I just had to share that with you because these women, they're just no words. And anything that they just scrutinize everything that the administration does. And of course, according to them, they don't do anything right. So yeah. So all I have to say is let them continue to do what they're doing. And remember, now, Whoopi has it so bad, she won't even say his name. So I don't know if they went on a date in the past and it was a bad day. I don't know. She can't stand him. So, and it's just about, no, they didn't want a black woman. They didn't want a woman. Get out of here. Yes, James. Kami, anyone remember when Whoopi allowed Ted Danson to wear blackface? Yes, Kami, I'm that old. Her partner at the time, Ted Danson, remember the star from Cheers, and they went to that little comedy roast, and yeah, he had blackface, and she caught a lot of flack behind that. Make it make sense, Tina. You can't make sense out of these idiots are crazy. I wish I could, Tina. I would make sense if it made sense, but it just does not. I can't see it. I cannot. And I'm just glad that they're being exposed. And I feel, now you heard it here first, I feel that they will eventually be canceled because they're opening ABC, Disney, Paramount, they're opening them up to more lawsuits. What are your thoughts? Yes, right. They need to be called out for their nonsense. When Barbara Walters started the show, it was a show for women. She had celebrities on. So they're trying to get them to go back to its original form. R.I.P. Barbara Walters. I know she's turned over in her graves 100 times already because of where they have taken that show. You know, those are my thoughts. I think that this is going to be the death nail, the nails in the coffin, because they said they were not going to stop what they're doing. And the executives have told them to, so it's not going to work. Kami, their viewers even boo them when they say things they disagree with. Yeah. And they get angry because it's groupthink, like a cult. You're not supposed to think outside the box. We're all supposed to think alike. Bach in Dog Eat Dog World, and I'm wearing Milkbone underwear. R.I.P. George Wendt. Yeah, he passed away. Yeah. We love you. And Tina, I love you too, dear. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll be live tomorrow and Sunday, of course. But I just wanted, like I said, it's Friday. And this is all I have to say in reference to The View and their show. I don't look at that show. I wouldn't dare waste my time. This is all I have for them. Since I won't say anything, this is my thought process on The View. That's all I can show you. Laurie, Washington is suing the state of Maine and our governor for not keeping guys out of women's sports, as they should. I don't blame them, Laurie. Good. That'll stop it. Lawsuits. That's the only thing some people understand. And that's, how I feel on this subject matter. Honestly, if I could be rich and heavy, I'd be very happy living to 76. That's just me. Okay, James. James, we're glad you're back. Right, Robert, that's what's going to happen. The show is going to be canceled. Because Trump, he's not going to stop with the law. They're getting pressure from his administration to stop. And if they don't, more lawsuits incoming. And so that's why the Disney executives are like, hey, just tone that down. They said no. So we will find out soon what the end game will be. And the viewers are sick of it. So you kind of sort of have to do what your viewers want if you hope to stay in business. But they're saying, no, the viewers want this. And the viewers are probably sick of it, but, they're just there supporting them. Hit the like button for me, please, folks. George was a little bit more than... Okay, he was a good actor, though. And let them continue. I think someone said it earlier in the chat. They are getting their comeuppance. And if they refuse to listen, the lawsuits will keep coming. Oh yeah, Thinks Like a Lion. And I love your thumbnail there, your picture. You have a little kitty cat. So I normally send Laurie some kitty cat. So I have to send you some too, because your picture there, profile picture, is kitty cat. Black, it looks like a little tuxedo kitty. Whoopi hates Trump because he got into it with Rosie after Rosie called Barron mentally slow and Trump called Rosie ugly and fat. I remember that, Kami. After that, Whoopi, yeah, like teenage girls do. One gets mad at one, and okay, I'm angry. I'm not her friend anymore. Mean girl type of stuff. So then the girl has done nothing to you, but you stop talking to her. That's crazy. Tina, yes. Keep the View, get rid of them, take it back to how Barbara Walters had it in its original form. Exactly. Tina, I'm with you. Yes. James, yes. Yes. Oh, yeah, Bob. Yeah. But they're going to get what's coming to them. And who knows? We'll see how this lawsuit goes. But karma, chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. They're going to get it. Karma is real. And they won't stop. So all I can say is the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. They don't know. They're going to be out on the streets because, Tina, I hope that, like you said, get rid of them and just put some new ladies on there who are a little bit more, central, who aren't just, just straight out, sold out, left progressive. Thank you, James. I'm still trying to sing. My voice is gone because I've been teaching all week, but hey. All I can say is might as well jump. Go ahead and jump. Van Halen, 1983. Yeah, that was a good year. So I'm gone, folks. I enjoyed all of you. And again, make sure you're here tomorrow. I'll probably get on about 6:30-ish, something like that. And Sunday, those of you here who are new, Sundays I'm normally on 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll be glad to have you. And I thoroughly enjoyed the live chat. If you were not here on Thursday evening, let me show you. James, I'm going to drop the video from from Thursday evening, love. And anyone, and I think I have some new folks here tonight. And let me get this. I'll share that. I'll try to share that with you. And let me know when you leave comments. I try to let me copy that. I try to answer all the comments, except if it's a video with thousands and thousands of views, I may miss it. But other than that, hey, I normally get it. Right, Robert? You did, James? All right. Thank you, Mayor. So James, I just dropped, and Mayor, I just dropped. Tube Steak, how you doing, dear? Hit that like button. I just dropped the link from Thursday's live stream, where Trump, of course, here we go. Okay. You know what's going on with the battle between Trump and Harvard. And so this is getting very interesting. Today, the judges blocked it. So Tube Steak, I just dropped the link. I just dropped a couple of links. So you and Monique and Bakmari, Robert, James can catch the video from Thursday. And then I shared the video from Sunday where MAGA Marva Johnson is being hired at an HBCU, historically Black college university, FAMU in Florida. And people are angry because she is a Trump supporter. Now, she's Black American, but she's a Trump supporter, and they are outraged. So I just dropped those two links. So please check those out. And again, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And always hit that like button. Yes, Tuesday. Those of you just joining the chat, we're leaving. But if you go back and catch the replay at the beginning, I shared the information with you about Trump and how everyone flipped on him when he became a Republican. Yes, Monique, that would be great. So everyone, enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. I think I'll go watch The Rifleman and Gunsmoke. Those are my shows. But I'll be here tomorrow. Again, between either 6 o'clock or 6:30, I'll be live. And that's 6, that will be Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So please come join us again. And if you're enjoying the content, share this video with a family member, a friend. Help us to continue to grow the channel. All right. And always hit that little That is the like button. If enough people hit the like button, it will trigger the YouTube logarithm. So go ahead, enjoy your Friday evening. And let me see, Mayor. Okay, there we go. I'm going, you know where I'm going right now. I'm going to the comment section, and I will be there as long as you are there. Thank you again for spending your very valuable time here at the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel. I'm coming to talk to you in the comment section right now.